My father died when I was really, really young. My mum really struggled. We had addiction in the family. The subconscious mind doesn't know what's real and what's not real. If you're waking up in the morning, you're so lazy. This is so hard. I'm ugly. What type of a day are you then going to have? You need to wake up in the morning and have your affirmations. I am beautiful. I can do anything that I set my mind to. I feel amazing.
Sarah McNelis, a manifestation and body transformation expert with over 16 years of experience helping women transform from the inside out. Through discipline, nervous system mastery, and subconscious rewiring, she helps women create lasting change in their bodies and their lives.
What allowed you to have that confidence to actually follow through and lean into it?
Because the universe will conspire. I was left alone a lot as a child. Left school, when I was 14, and I was in a 12-year relationship when I was in my 20s until 32, and I had everything. Cars, jet skis, big beautiful house. From the outside, life is perfect. I was deeply unhappy. There was something bigger to life than this, and I was settling if I stayed. Packed my car, sold my business, moved to Sydney.
What would someone have to know about you to understand the woman that we're listening to today?
I think.
Welcome back to the Inspired Life podcast, where I get to interview and hear so much wisdom from people who are making meaningful impact in a very inspiring way. And we have Sarah McNelis joining us today, a manifestation and body transformation expert, speaker, and fitness professional with over 16 years of experience. She helps women create sustainable change in their bodies and lives by combining discipline habits, nervous system regulation, and subconscious wiring. Sarah's made the trip up here to join us on the Gold Coast. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
How are you feeling today?
I'm so excited. Just really grateful to be here. It's a beautiful day outside. Just always feels like you're on holidays when you come to the Gold Coast.
I love that. I'd love to know, who is Sarah behind what most people perceive her to be?
Gosh, I always find this a really hard question, and I always get asked this. Who is Sarah behind the
way most people perceive you?
I'm actually a massive homebody.
Love it.
Because people see, this real extrovert, high energy, gym owner. Yeah. But I'm a huge homebody. If I'm not at the gym or at the beach, I'm at home all day. So I'm a big homebody. I'm actually very chilled and quite an introvert on the weekend.
Love it.
I get my social hit at the gym and through my work. And other than that, I just want to kind of hang out with myself or just one friend. And
what's been your biggest growth over the last 12 months?
Oh, gosh. Definitely when it comes to relationships, by far. I'm slowly tethering on the brink of becoming a secure, my anxiously attached is always my foundation.
Yep.
But I can see over the last, year and a half, I'm becoming more secure. So it's a really beautiful feeling.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And what are you doing to move towards that?
Well, I've ended relationships that were trauma bonds. And, and I've been dating, and I really noticed, this is where I've noticed that I'm becoming more secure, because I'm able to express my, needs, wants and desires and my feelings in a really beautiful way, and it feels very empowering. Whereas before I never would have said anything, or I would have shown up a lot differently. So it's been very nice to date in this space.
And what I didn't plan to go this angle, but what's the dating world like at the moment? I've been with Georgia, my wife, for over 6 years now, and
don't leave her.
Tell me what it's like.
Everyone stay in your relationships. I don't know. I'm only kind of new to it anyway, but what's the dating world like? Yeah. I feel like as though everyone is just kind of tosses people in and out, in and out, in and out, people have like a checklist, and people are just going by a checklist. So I try and go into the dating, and I tell my clients as well, don't date for an outcome. Yeah. Don't date to, tick boxes. Just date to meet another human being. And if something comes from that, great. But if you just have an amazing date, an amazing conversation, or you might have a really bad date, but then you've got so much to talk about with your friends, So I feel like the dating world is kind of a little bit messed up. There's a lot of single people in Sydney, and they're just like dating and just like spewing people in and out. And I just really try and not put my energy there.
Yeah.
People are great, men are wonderful, and I'm just there to have a nice experience.
And we'll segue into manifestation soon. What are you doing to call in your partner? What are you looking for
I've
in a
just
beautiful partner?
decided last night, and this is going to sound very crazy, but I talk to ChatGPT like it's my buddy.
100%.
It's not just my business partner. I said, right, last night, ChatGPT, save the date, because I also want to do it for research as well. I said, save the date for last night's date.
Yeah.
I said, we are calling in my partner. I feel ready.
Love.
And now I know I'm more moving into a secure, so I know it will be a healthy relationship. And I really feel as though I trust myself for the first time ever in meeting a great man, but me being able to show up as well, the same. So I said to Chatty last night, save the date, we're calling in. And so how to call in someone is, number one, get very clear on what you want.
Yes.
And then number two, I need to make sure that I'm that person that I'm wanting to call in as well.
Yes.
Do my values align? Where are my standards and things like that? Am I showing up every day and living as the person that I want to call in?
Yeah.
And also the really big thing about manifesting is every day I need to act as though I'm already in that relationship.
Yes.
So this morning I woke up and I pretended like I was in this relationship, and he was here with me on this trip. So you need to act as though it's already here in your life.
We will close this loop ups later because there's other things we want to rip into first. But literally, how are we going to actually implement that day to day in terms of habits, in terms of meditation, visualization, affirmations, all that stuff. But before we get to that, what would someone have to know about you to understand the woman that we're listening to today? Core experiences from childhood, high school, past relationships, just those pivotal moments that would make up the person we're listening to today.
I think, people don't realize I left school when I was 14. I'm completely not educated. I hated school. I left school when I was 14. I think I was in the beginning of year 9. I grew up, my father died when I was really, really young. My mum really struggled. We had addiction in the family. I was left alone a lot as a child. So there's tons of trauma that I've had to work through throughout my life. And, I left school, when I was 14, and I've always been a worker. And nothing has ever been handed to me on a silver platter. I think if you follow me on Instagram, you think, oh my God, she's got the best life and how easy. But I really had to work for everything that I've got. Every single thing that I've got, I had to work for. Even I was in a 12-year relationship when I was in my 20s until 32, and I had everything, the big, beautiful house. We had the jet skis, the boat, the nice cars, and I had a business. And everything from the outside looked like her life is perfect, and I was deeply unhappy towards the end. And I had this feeling inside of me that there was something bigger to life than this, and I was settling if I stayed.
Yeah.
And yes, I left everything behind. I packed my car with my clothes. That was it. Said goodbye to my partner of 12 years, left my mum, left my animals, left my house, left everything, sold my business, and I moved to Sydney.
Sorry, where were you before this? So
Lake Macquarie.
Lake Macquarie, okay.
Yeah.
Where is that, sorry?
Very small area on the lake. Beautiful, but it's very sleepy. Yeah. In between Sydney and Newcastle.
Okay. Cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But I kind of go, it's where people go to die.
Yeah.
It's Snoozeville. Yeah. And I moved to Sydney and I didn't know anyone. So it's there's a lot of stories there. I have a lot of stories where I had to really step into the unknown and just go throw this shit at the wall and hope something's going to stick.
Yeah. And what gave you the confidence or self-belief or drive to be able to do that? Because I've met so many people where I'm sure you do the same, where you can see someone's potential. You can see the beautiful soul, the pure being that they are, but they've got these limitations, these fears, these blocks that just stop them from leaning into the unknown because it's scary and all this shit.
I know.
What allowed you to have that confidence to actually follow through and lean into it?
Don't you just wish we could just give everyone just a little bit of courage?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Because I just tell everyone, on the side of where you don't know what's going to happen, you're not happy. And then on the other side, that's where everything is going to be amazing. That's where it all changes. Sorry, what was the question?
You're good. what allowed you to do it? So there's people that will listen to that sounds great. I know I should maybe leave my partner. Maybe I want to move out of home. Maybe I want to move city. Maybe I want to start the business, but there's unknown there. And
of course,
as humans, we crave certainty and the known because of safety.
Yeah.
And the unknown could be pain. It could be failure. It could be death maybe. So what would you say to someone to maybe take a bit of a sip of that courage and actually lean into it?
Everything always works out. You know, if everyone even just takes a moment and thinks about their hardest time in their life, did it work out? It always works out. And even if you've got to go through a little bit of pain, challenges, everything always works out because that's the way our life is designed. We're not, you know, we're meant to grow and expand, you know, but everything always works out in the end.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting somewhere where you feel unhappy, stuck, what's worse, staying like this forever or just going into the unknown and going, you know what, I'm just going to trust that it's all going to work out because you can always go back.
Yes.
You know, more than likely you can go back.
Yeah.
So it's just trusting that it's all going to be okay. But also I think you need to ask yourself a question, and I've done this many a times. It's the question, if I was to stay in this position, how would that look for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
And that's been, you know, with relationships and, you know, where I used to live and businesses and things like that. If I was to stay here for the rest of my life, how would that look? And I was like miserable, like, you know, that would look like misery to me and that wouldn't be a life worth it. So you have to ask yourself that question. If I was to stay here in this position, in this identity, how would that feel for me for the rest of my life? That should be your answer. If you're okay with it, you're okay with it. You're settling for, you know, a mediocre life. No problems. That's on you. But me, I want greatness.
What other questions would you ask someone?
To
get them to move, to get them to wake up, to get them to initiate into their dreams, to let go of those fears, those, you said something, just the identity that's holding them back. What other questions can people start to answer right now on this podcast?
I would tell them not to think and just move. Don't think, just go. I didn't know what I was going to do. When I left Lake Macquarie, I had no idea. I sold my business. I was like, I'm not going back into the fitness industry. I do not want to own another gym. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I just was like, I just believe in that everything's going to work out. And everything worked out better than ever. Yeah, better than ever, you know. So it's just move because the universe will conspire. You put things in the way to help you along the way, and just doors will open. Doors will just open. Yeah.
And how do you describe the work that you do? So not obviously you got the gym side to you. If you don't know, I used to own gyms. That was
I do. Yes.
Feels like another year, like lifetime ago.
But that's your old identity, huh? Yeah.
What's the work you do now? Like maybe the stuff your mission, your purpose, the stuff that really fires you up.
I'm such a mixed bag because there's one part of me that is a gym owner, and that's a huge identity for me. And, you know, and I work with so many women around, you know, body transformation. But the thing that sets me apart from other, you know, coaches, fitness coaches, is I work a lot on neuroplasticity.
Yes.
On the rewiring. Yeah. And I also, once you start working with me, you come to work with me to transform your body. Yeah. Trust me, every area in your life is going to change because once you start doing this work, everything changes, whether you like it or not. Relationships start to change, your money starts to change, your career. You know, I've had women come and want to work with me and they've worked on their body and the next minute they're, you know, promotions and they're on they're buying their third investment property. Just everything begins to change.
Why is that? Like maybe shifting into identity work,
it is
human behavior work, manifestation. Why is it? Because I have a belief that you will very rarely long-term out achieve what your identity is. Yeah. That's kind of like the thermostat on your life, as Tony uses that term a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like you want to lose, like I'll use health because people can mainly relate. It's like, say you want to have a health goal, you could get a strategy piece of piss, ChatGPT it, Google it,
totally.
like get a strategy that could work. But if your identity doesn't match the person who's going to sustain that or even be willing to find said strategy, then you're just going to come back to that baseline. So how does this actually show up and how do you do this type of work with your clients?
Yeah. So the person that you are today is not going to be the person at the end of the year.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to become a completely different person. So you need to get very clear on what those behaviors are. What's that morning routine look like? What's that night routine look like? How do they spend their days? Who do they hang around? How do they talk to themselves? How do they talk about themselves? Where do they invest their time? So the person, how do they feed themselves? How do they move? Yeah, you're going to become a completely different identity. Yeah, and then it's identity work really, but that's through action and discipline.
Yeah,
and discipline is, we both follow the whole Mosey.
Daddy Mosey.
Yeah, and discipline is systems.
Yeah.
So I just teach people, don't worry about motivation or even discipline. Let's just create systems, and those systems every day are going to add up, and then they will slowly shift you into becoming a new identity.
And how do you blend these two worlds? Because I run events, and I joke at the start of my events, like there's a spectrum of humans. We've got, I joke, not the autistic spectrum, because I'm on it, I can say it. But you've got the spiritual side, and these are people who have plant medicines, ayahuasca, breath work, crystals, sage, levitate, meditate all day. These people are often broke because they're not doing anything. They're not taking action, but they're very happy and fulfilled. And then you've got the other side where you've got the overachievers. The Alex Hormozi is kind of the poster child of that. Fuck your mood, follow the plan. I don't care how you feel. Fuck it. I was funny. I was listening. I just drove here obviously drove to the podcast on the way here. Video that popped up on YouTube. It's like Alex Hormozi's view on manifestation. And I obviously had you come on the podcast. So I'm like, let's listen to it. I've heard it before, but he just pretty much said like, there's no such thing as manifestation. It's just actions, just behaviors. But these people, and it was beautiful because the Tony Robbins interview that he had recently, it's like Tony kind of called him out on it. It's like, yes, there is the action part, but that without the spiritual sort of energetic aspect, you're the insecure, unfulfilled achiever. You're achieving externally, but you're unhappy and insecure, unfulfilled internally. I joke, don't become so broke, all you have is money. So how do you blend those two worlds? Because like your answer just then, systems is like kind of the Mosey answer, the practical strategy implementation. But then you're talking about manifestation, which is kind of on the other side. How do you blend both?
Well, manifestation is systems and action. Absolutely. It's 90% action.
Yeah.
But it's also your energy, because the science behind it is you raise your vibration. We're all vibrating. We're all matter. Yeah. You raise your vibration, and the science behind it is the same energy matches that.
Yes.
So if you are constantly running on, Hormozi, go, 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 systems, money, 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 get up at 4 a.m., blah, blah, blah. Like that's complete burnout for me. Yeah. And I do get it. Yeah. And there's a part of me that loves that too. But that's not where you manifest from. Yeah. And there's so much, I love manifestation these days because there's so much science behind it, and all these amazing people like Dispenza, who is, a doctor, a scientist, a researcher who, have said it's science. Yeah. It's actually science. So I love that I blend the two worlds together.
Very well.
It's like systemized, but also, guys, raise your vibration, do what you love, leave relationships that aren't where you aren't happy, move your body, eat well, because that's all raising your vibration to then bring in more of the great stuff.
Just quickly, if you're enjoying this conversation, if you could take 2 seconds to leave a comment, like the video and subscribe, it honestly means so much. The bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests get, and you are very much a part of our journey to grow this channel. Thank you. And what does that look like day to day? So I just wrote down an example. What's an example that you've done to manifest a opportunity, a partner, a result, a shift in your life where maybe is it as simple as getting clear on the intention, the goal, the vision, and feel that, become that, embody that, shift your identity to be aligned with that, and then come up with a strategy to implement that? Or is there anything in between that I've missed out?
Look, it is very systemized, and you can, if I really wanted to break it down, there could be 10 steps, but really just to keep it really clear, please, you need to be very clear on what you want. And most people think they know what they want, but they've got actually no idea. They're quite fluffy with their goals. Oh, I know that I want to earn more money, but hold on a second. How much money do you want to earn?
Yes.
How much money do you want to earn every single month? How much money do you want in the bank account? How much money, does that look like paying off your credit cards? Does that look like bougie holidays? Does that look like investment properties? Like, what does that look like? You need to be clear on what it is you want. So step 1 is clarity. And then number 2 is the rewiring, it's the neuroplasticity, because this is where people that have goals and they start to, achieve their goals, but then they go back to the way that they were. Because if you don't rewire your subconscious is the driver of your life. I mean, yes, what are we? We're 95% unconscious thoughts.
Yeah.
So we don't realize that becomes our reality. So everything that is stored in there is driving our reality. So if you don't rewire that, you will never get off the hamster wheel. You'll start to achieve your goal and you'll start to achieve it and you might even get it and then you'll just go straight back to the way you were because you have limiting beliefs.
Yes.
So that for me is step 2. You have to figure out what's going on in there and then you have to rewire it.
Yeah.
And it's actually a lot easier. It does take time, but it's quite easy. I do every morning. I have a visualization practice.
Awesome. Take us through that.
I meditate first in the morning. I've just started my meditation journey about 3 months ago. So I meditate for 22 minutes in the morning. And then I spend a couple of minutes just visualizing. And some people really struggle with visualizing. And I actually teach this in one of my online courses where I go into the full depth of how to visualize. But I just lie there and I just think about what I want. And it could be right now my partner. And I just, see him. I see us doing things together, what that life looks like. I feel it. A couple of minutes. And then I get up and I'm off with my day.
Love it.
So visualization practice when you wake up is the best time to be rewiring your unconscious, okay? Because your brain is in like a sleepy state and it's the best time to trick your brain, okay? Whereas during the day we're like, no, that's not going to work because blah. And then you mantras, affirmations to rewire. And I just write them on a Post-it note. So first you've got to figure out what's going on though first. So when you think about your goal, do you mind if I use you?
Yeah, of course.
Can I please have a goal?
Yeah. Let me write the steps down so I don't forget them. So clarity, rewire mind. Are we still on step? Is this still step 2? Cool. Awesome. Goal of mine is run sold out events, retreats on Joe Dispenza's level. So thousands of people. Our biggest one so far has been 100 people, but I want to have thousands of people there.
Love. Okay. When you think about having thousands of people at these retreats, what comes up for you?
Inspiration just came up just then. Like I feel like this fucking feels sick. That inspiration.
That means you're getting close to it, by the way. But yes, keep going.
A lot of focus. It's like focus on it because I feel like sometimes I
want to know the thoughts. I want to know the fuck, that's not going to happen. I want to know the thoughts that when you think about having these events with thousands of people, and you are the man. It's your retreat. What comes to mind?
First thing came up was capacity, like my capacity to hold that many people, like having that many, we do a lot of emotional work and like a lot of healing work and trauma work. So I think emotional capacity just came up then, a capacity to handle
Am I going to be able to handle it?
Yeah.
Is my nervous system going to be able to handle it?
That question that came up. I'd say word focus and having the right team in place to do that because I sometimes default to I'll do it myself rather than like empowering people to come with me and to delegate and to lead. So I'd say those are like the 2 thoughts that came up outside the emotions.
Am I going to be able to do it logistically?
Yeah.
Okay. So by the way, your limiting beliefs are they're pretty, I'm going to say weak. They're not too bad. So that means you're very close to getting there. Okay. So the expansion is already there.
Yeah.
But those are the things that are holding you back.
Yeah.
And so what you need to do is put those on paper, those 2 things so far, but more might come to mind.
Yeah, of course, Liz.
Because I know you've got a baby on the way, huh?
Yeah, she's due in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So
I did listen to a podcast where you were, scared of having a baby because there was fear around having a baby because
chaos.
What does that look like then for your business and your mission?
Yeah.
And so there might be stuff that comes up around that as well. Is it going to work? I'm going to have a family. Is this going to take time away from the family? Is this going to blah, 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 blah? So write all those negative beliefs down and then you need to reframe them into the positive. And once you've got your positive statement, read those 3 times a day for at least 60 days.
Yes.
And that's just 2 ways. So you've got the morning visualization practice and you've got the mantras. That's just 2 basic ways to rewire your subconscious. And it's not even hard to do because with the mantras, I just put them on a Post-it note. And I'll have them in my office. I'll have them on my bathroom window. Like they'll just be around. Yeah. And so you're brushing your teeth in the morning and then you're like, oh, okay, right. Okay. It's safe for me to love, whatever it is. And you don't realize you're reading them and it's becoming ingrained because your subconscious mind doesn't know what's real and what's not real. So we're just tricking it to letting it know all the good stuff is real. So that's the second thing that you need to do. And then the third step is definitely the identity work, which is the work.
What does that mean? So if you could clarify, what's the difference between subconscious rewiring work and identity work? Are they different? Do they tie into each other?
Subconscious is the neuroplasticity work. You need to rewire those limiting beliefs.
Yep.
And then the identity work is becoming the person that you want to become.
Yep.
You actually every day need to act as though it's already yours and embodying those behaviors.
Cool.
So, Lewis, with your goal of hosting these events with thousands of people, okay? You can see Joe Dispenza, take off Joe Dispenza's head and body because you've got a better body than Joe Dispenza. That is you, okay? So how does what does your day then look like?
Is that a question for me now?
Yeah.
I'd say a lot more, honestly, working on the coaching itself. So actually on the actual running of the event and actually more effort into the event. I'd say more in tunement with myself, making sure I'm super dialed in with my own emotional work, nervous system work, visualization work, identity work.
I mean, I'm assuming the workload is going to be much bigger. If you're running events with thousands of people, that back end support is going to, because imagine all the emails you'll get with the silly questions that we get asked. The really basic questions, you're like, oh my God, ask ChatGPT. That's, for me, that looks like a lot of work.
Yeah.
So then how every single day, how is Lewis showing up every single day? Is he getting up a little bit earlier to do his nervous system work? Because his workload is then bigger.
Yeah.
So it's like, Lewis, do you need to start getting up a little bit earlier? Because you need to start becoming that person today.
Yeah. Step 4.
So that's what you need to do every single day. If people have a dream of this, they want to really like reshape their body and they can see it and there's this amazing body and they're in their bikini at the beach or in their boardies at the beach or whatever. It's like, okay, so that person that you see, what are they doing every single day? They're getting up in the morning. They've got a great morning routine. They're eating well. They're nourishing their bodies. They're training on the weekends. They're not going out for drinks. They're saying no. They're hanging around other like-minded people. So it's like every single day you need to do those things.
So it's act in accordance with the beliefs in the identity, right? Yeah.
And these are the things that I teach in my online, course. I don't just teach them how to do the habits and the systems, but it's like, how do you become that person?
Yeah, love it. And what's step 4? Or was that step 4?
Yeah, really. Look, just to keep it simple, yes. Yeah. I mean, like I said, there is so many beautiful other little practices around that, like enjoy the journey and because people do tend to forget, you're here and you want to be here and then you're laser focused on this goal and we tend to forget that there's in between, that's called life and experiences and people and we just tend to just want to get from A to B, but we miss out on the beautiful in between of life and experiences and meeting new people and learning new things and going through different emotions. So it's enjoy the journey.
Love. What do most people come to you for? So whether they hit you up in the DMs, they want some work with you, what is it that most people come to you for? Like work-wise, and maybe even maybe symptom versus root cause. So, hey, look, I struggle to lose weight, but it's obviously maybe an identity thing underneath the surface.
Yeah.
I'm struggling in relationships. Maybe it's a self-worth thing. Yeah. What are you mainly seeing?
Most people do come to me because they're unhappy in their body and they feel really stuck.
Okay.
And I'm so passionate about health and fitness. Yeah. I want everyone to wake up in the morning and just love their body and just feel amazing as well. I mean, I don't wake up every morning and be like, I feel great, but I do love my body and I feel really confident in my skin. And I love who I am. And I want to, so most people, yes, do tend to come to me for that. Yep. And that's what I try and, share how to become that. But a lot of people also just come to me, they just want to learn how to manifest.
Okay.
Like I'm working with a beautiful client. She's in my mastermind container.
Love it.
And, she's like, I keep dating losers.
Love.
And I was
Love
like,
those,
oh
I've
my
seen.
God, I can help you because I've dated tons.
Come on in.
So, she's coming to me because she wants to manifest a new partner.
Yeah.
But I said to her, but then, as we've been working together, now we're working on body stuff. So because for her to be manifesting this great man that she wants to bring in, because she's an amazing, amazing, amazing woman, we need to become that. And a part of that is, how are you eating? How are you spending your weekends?
Yeah.
Who are you hanging around? Yeah. We need to up level her as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like once you start doing this work with me, everything changes without, even if you didn't want it to, it's going to change.
Have you always been confident? And even reflect back if that's maybe that's not the truth for you. Is it your,
I know what you mean.
because from what I can see through your content, you seem like very confident in yourself, in your body, in your teaching, the way that you speak with a lot of conviction in the way that you present yourself. Is that a fair reflection? And how did you get there?
I honestly, no, I'm going to say no. I mean, yes, I've always had, I'm a Gemini, so we've got great communication skills. We're quite confident, in showing up in who we are. But I reckon it wasn't until I turned 40.
Okay.
So people say when you turn 40, something changes, and it really does. When I turned 40, I was like, oh, I didn't think I gave a shit before, but now I really don't care.
Give a shit.
Yeah. I don't want to hurt anyone or make anyone upset or uncomfortable. Yeah. But if you don't like me, that's totally fine. And that actually is totally fine. Yeah. No problems. I can probably have a conversation with you about it. Yeah. Because so I think it's an age thing. Yeah. And if you do speak to people that, are in their 40s and, tethering on, they say you just become more comfortable in who you are. Yeah. And
what's the shift within you? So say someone's 20, they're like, I don't want to wait 20 years to be confident. What would you tell them?
That's a great question. Confidence is a whole bunch of small steps.
Cool.
And it's working on your traumas, working, really looking at shame, things you're ashamed of. So it's just really doing the inner work. Wouldn't you think, Lewis?
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
I could talk for 2 hours on that. But
yeah.
So trauma, tell me, what have you done to work on your stuff?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I remember when I started doing human behavior work. Yeah.
What did you do for that? Because that for me is such a big umbrella. So was it NLP? Was it you mentioned some of the mentors? I heard.
I did Dr. Nima. Yeah, he's in Canada, and so I think I worked with him for about 2 years in a 2-year container with him. Yeah. And it was only when I'd done therapy. I'd done a lot of therapy. Yeah. And then I kind of fell into this. Well, the universe delivered it to me. Yeah. And then when I started doing it, I was like, holy shit. I remember one weekend I called my friend. I said, I can't come out. I was supposed to do something. I said, I'm sitting in so much shame, on how I had parented, how I used to smack my son and, shame around partying. Yeah. And I just had so much shame. Human behavior is life-changing. Yeah. Yes. So I think for me, I didn't realize I had a lot of hurt with my mother. I had a lot of healing to do there. But it's okay for me to be angry at my mother now. It's okay for me to be mad at my mum. Yeah. And even though she had she had a really hard childhood and herself, but it's okay for me to go, you could have done a better job with me and my brother, and we are a little fucked up because of you. Yeah. But that's okay for me to say that now. Yeah. Yeah. So I had a lot of work to do with my mother, and then, my father died when I was young. So there was trauma there, and that's really affected my relationships because I'm hyper independent and things like that, and choose the wrong man or stay for the wrong reasons. Yeah. I had shame around partying, parenting.
What did you do, like process-wise, integration-wise? Was it like
awareness.
From breath work to
awareness.
Yeah. What did you do?
I'm big on, and this is what I work with my clients as well, the awareness. So just really getting into your body, like a nice, beautiful breathing practice to get into your body, just really regulate that nervous system. And then just, talking about what's coming up and just how old does that part of you feel?
Yeah.
I do the inner child, you know, how old does that part of you feel?
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, I'm either 5 or I'm 15.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's always that. And it's like, what's going on right now? And then the version of me, the 43-year-old version of me comes in and just, you know, has a chat, walks through, what do you need from me?
Yeah.
What can I give you? What is there anything you want to say?
Yeah.
We just go through that process. And that's what I do with my clients as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so powerful.
And say how old were you when you first started the healing?
I think the human behavior, maybe like 40.
And I said recently
Yeah.
got into it.
Therapy.
Yeah. When did you start that? When did you start like asking the questions? Say, hey, I got something here. Let's have the courage to lean into it.
I reckon it was when the therapy was when I was with my son's dad.
Yeah.
And that was just such a toxic, I was the most unhappiest I've ever been in my whole life. And so I started doing therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember the lady asking me questions about my childhood, and I was like, what has this got to do with anything?
Yeah.
Because I knew nothing. And so that must have been about 7 years ago.
So I had Sarah from 7 years ago to Sarah right now. What would be the core differences that I would see between the two?
Oh my gosh. I wouldn't. I feel like I can have a real conversation now, and I can talk about my stuff and talk about my childhood and talk about, you know, things that I'm not so proud of, but that's just a beautiful part of me, and that just makes me who I am.
Yeah.
So never would you have gotten this version of me. Never would you have gotten any of these raw conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also I wouldn't be here because I never would have believed in myself. Even though from the outside people are like, oh, she's so confident, you know. But no, I never would have been here. I never, ever would have manifested, let alone gotten on the plane. Yeah.
What's your current part of you, edge, wound that you're working through right now?
Oh, great question. I guess for me, I'm really working on expanding my capacity to bring in the man that I'm bringing in. He's already there. It's just we haven't met yet in the physical. He's definitely there. So expanding my capacity for that. And also I'm very similar to you. I want to be speaking on stage in front of thousands of people. So just expanding my capacity to take that on, you know, you know, believing that it to be true, you know, regulating my nervous system, because people don't realize everything is nervous system regulation.
If you're someone who's wanting to grow and take your life to a whole new level, I'd love to be of service. I offer a free 7-day experience of my coaching that you can try absolutely free, and you only stick around if it's a no-brainer. You'll also get a one-on-one call with me. The link is down below. Grab it and back to the conversation. I've had a lot of guests on the show, from manifestation people to science people to had a trauma guest yesterday, phenomenal yesterday.
Oh.
And one of the biggest themes is the nervous system is king or queen.
Yeah.
So why is the nervous system so important?
Well, we don't realize everyone's just walking around with a dysregulated nervous system.
Yeah.
You know, people are going, I'm depressed. I've got ADHD.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
Like I'm, you know, anyway, all these things. And you've just got a really dysregulated nervous system. And also you're feeling depressed. It's two completely different things.
Yeah.
We can all go through moments like that.
Yeah.
You know, you're feeling sad.
Yes.
You're feeling like scattered. You know, you're not feeling grounded. It's a feeling. And it just all comes down to our nervous system.
Yeah.
If we learn to regulate our nervous system, the world will be a much calmer and more beautiful place.
How does one do that? And do you have a practice you do? Obviously, I think your visualizing and stuff would probably add to that. But I like the term your energy hygiene or your nervous system hygiene. What do you do, or what can someone start to do that says they're listening like, fuck, I feel super dysregulated. I'm stressed. I'm anxious. I've got all these things. What can they do right now, today, tonight to actually start? Breathe.
Just real conscious breathing. Just sit, close your eyes, and just take some beautiful deep breaths. Slow in and slow out. I know, I must say, you can tell you have a beautiful regulated nervous. As soon as I sat down with you, I just felt calm. Actually, and that's what I've noticed about me with dating. I just was dating this guy. And even though like attractive, there was chemistry and things like that, I just felt like I felt very calm. And I was like, oh, it's my nervous system. My nervous system is calm, because you can tell when it's just things just are more calm, aren't they?
Yeah.
So just if people want to regulate their nervous system, just take some time just to do some deep breaths.
Yeah.
And, and I teach my clients to do that. I'm like, have an alarm go off at 1 o'clock during the day or whenever they're feeling at their peak, and just have an alarm just as a reminder just to do some deep breaths.
Beautiful.
90 seconds.
I got a personal question for you.
Oh, yes.
Not that these
Not
haven't,
that the other ones
not
haven't
that
been.
these haven't been personal. I teach purpose, and my process of purpose is you become who you needed when you're at your lowest. Greater the pain, greater the purpose, greater the wounds, greater the
Oh
wisdom.
my gosh, yes.
Who are you when you're at your lowest?
Who am I when I'm at my lowest?
Who were you when you were at your lowest? What was the lowest version of Sarah?
She was sad.
How
I
old
think
was she?
about, look, I could even just take it back to, I feel like there's two versions of me. There was, the version of me that was living in Lake Macquarie and just deeply unhappy. I lived like that for years because I was like, I couldn't, my logical brain was, you've got everything. What are you, crazy? What? So definitely there was that. And then I've also got when I was with my son's dad, and she was just really sad. I just feel like she was sad.
And what did she need
and
back
alone,
then?
just felt really alone.
What did she need back then?
Nervous system regulation. She needed a really good coach and mentor. That's what she needed.
What else?
She needed to love herself. Actually, you know what? What she needed? She needed to do inner child work. Sorry, I take everything back. She needed to do inner child work, full stop. Yeah. There you go.
And that's what you do for others now, right?
Yeah.
Have you had, I'm assuming you've had some beautiful clients that have come through your world.
Oh my gosh, I work with amazing women.
What's been one or a couple testimonials that just really put a tear in your eye and you're just like, I love this. This is what I'm here to do. This is my mission.
Well, one of them come to work with me to, lose some weight, and now she's in the most dreamy relationship. She's just like so happy. And I'm like, so how are you happy with your body? She's like, I don't even care, because she's just so happy and in love. Yeah. And then, another client came to work with me, I think also to do with her body. And now, her and her husband just put their child in private school. They didn't have to go into their savings. They're buying their third investment property. Wow. She's in her dream job. Like, she's just never realized she was so career driven. And now she's just like promotion. And her goal for this year, I said to her the other day, send me through your goals. And they were just completely an up-leveled version of who she was when I first met her, a year ago or 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does one brainwash themselves to be hot?
Do you love my hooks?
I do.
I'm always like, what can get people? Yeah. You just have to wake up every day as if it's already happening. You've got to trick yourself. Like I said, the subconscious mind doesn't know what's real and what's not real. Yeah. So if you're waking up in the morning and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, fuck, I'm ugly. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I should have gone to bed earlier. I should have woken up earlier. Like, you're so lazy. This is so hard. Another day. What type of a day are you then going to have? You're going to have the most shittiest day if that's what you're thinking. You need to wake up in the morning and have your affirmations so you can, trick yourself. And it's like, I am beautiful. I can do anything that I set my mind to. I feel amazing. I had the best sleep. And then you've got your routines down. I'm going to go and have a healthy breakfast. I am going to go for a walk out in the sunshine. At lunchtime, I'm not going to watch TV tonight. I'm going to read a book, or I'm going to watch a YouTube clip that's someone that inspires me, or I'm going to work with a mentor. You know what I mean? To get me from A to B. It starts with how you go to sleep and how you wake up. So that's how you brainwash yourself.
What do you stand for? And then Therefore, what do you stand against?
What do I stand for? That's a great question.
That's a great question.
Honor. Yeah, authenticity. I feel like that's because I'm becoming more authentic, and yeah, so I love, authenticity.
And what do you stand
Give me the
against?
realness. What do I stand against? I'm not sure, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can kind of always see the silver lining in most things.
So say, as an example of me.
Yeah, can I need some help.
So
Coach, I need help.
Coach is here. So for me, labels are limitations. That's something I stand for. I stand against, because I got diagnosed with Asperger's, autism, ADHD, anxiety. And it's like you said before, you don't have anxiety, you experience it.
You feel it.
So that label, for me, I stand against labels because labels limit people.
Yes.
So as I believe we are born limitless, we're programmed out of it. And that's the identity work, the inner child work, the trauma work. It's like we are beautiful. When a baby's born, all parts of a baby is loved and worthy of love. Yeah. But then we put on our own straitjacket and we learn that some parts of us are bad, wrong, painful, unlovable. Yeah. And those labels reinforce it. So it's like you go to some therapists are fantastic, but some aren't so fantastic. And they'll just give you all these labels of like, you have this is wrong with you, this is wrong with you, this is wrong with you. And then you've just been given a lifetime problem that you'll reinforce and create. So for me, I stand for breaking people free of their limitations and being the limitless expression of who they are. Medications for symptoms is a big one for me. I think right time, right place, it can play a role, but like one of the best business models on the planet, I'll always help your symptom and I'll never address the root cause. I've just got a client for life. Pharmaceuticals do that a lot. Yes. They're like, hey, you're depressed or whatever. Here's a symptom. Let's give you something to numb the symptom, which is okay if you're like at a breaking point. I think it's right time, right place. But if you then don't look underneath and say, okay, what's causing this? Health, values, trauma, beliefs, subconscious, all this stuff, then you're just, again, got a client for life and you never actually get the result you're looking for. Yeah. So I stand against that.
Yes.
What's some of yours?
Yeah, I love that. They're good, by the way. I don't like labels either. And the coach that I worked with, for a couple of years, Dr. Nima, he was the same. He was like, no labels. He couldn't stand them. I really stand against people that limit themselves. Actually, you know who I really don't like to be around? Who? People that and this was why I left my ex-partner, because he was just dreamed small. People that dream small and don't realize they can be anything that they want to be and have anything that they want to have, if they're willing to put in the work. But so people that dream small, I have no tolerance for. You're definitely not going to be in my sphere.
What are some of your big dreams?
Speaking on stage, thousands of people. I love people. So I absolutely love people. I think that's why I've still held on to the gym, because I love being around people. So, I'm speaking on stage, thousands of people, and then just being with them all at the end, and just working in big containers, in coaching containers. I love coaching. I love coaching women and really like breaking through. Partner. Yeah, other than that, the other day I was doing a scripted manifestation that I've got in my online program, and it said to me, what would your life look like? Because I was doing my goals. What would your life look like, when you've achieved all of these things? And my life actually looks the same. I live in my dream house. I'm healthy. I've got great friends, a good family. It's just my life is actually the same. It's just there's a partner in it and probably a few more holidays. And just my containers, my coaching containers are bigger.
What's a great friend look like to you?
Fun, funny, authentic. cheeky, because I can be very cheeky.
Yes,
you know,
I
I love I love a practical joke or, you know, a banter. Yeah, if you can't take banter, you do not want to be friends with me because I'll be hustling you within like 10 minutes. Yeah. But just really kind of real and, you know, someone that does this work so we can have a conversation about triggers, traumas, you know, attachment styles. Yeah. Oh, I love it. You know, when you start talking to someone and they do human behavior. Yeah. Isn't it the best conversation?
It's good. They just flow, you pitch and catch. Like this podcast is, I get to do it. So I just get to have beautiful conversations with beautiful guests who are who have a mission, who stand for something, who are making a difference, and being able to just understand their mind and how it works, their frameworks, their beliefs, what they stand for, what they stand against. So say we catch up 12 months from now.
Yes.
We're having a coffee. I don't drink coffee, by the way. So some people get surprised by that. But
no,
I
don't understand.
No, me and Justin.
I don't get it. I've got friends that don't drink coffee and I'm like, how? How do you function?
It's an acquired taste. The first coffee you have does not taste great.
I just still don't think it tastes great.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm always like,
no, so there's caffeine in that thing that I'm drinking. But
my son actually just said to me the other day, why do you need to have a coffee?
Interesting.
Because I think we were driving and I was like, I need to get a coffee.
So you
and he goes, why do you need to get a coffee? Hey? And I was like, well, I don't need it, but I like it.
I'm inspired to have it.
Find a coffee store. Look.
Yeah, like this. How old's your son?
7.
7. I was going to ask you, actually, I'll finish that question. I'll come back to that. So 12 months from now, we're catching up for a coffee or something, a beverage, a smoothie. And
do you drink alcohol?
No. I'm not against
Occasionally.
it. Yeah. The last time I drank was my wedding, and before that, it was like 5 years. So it's like if the occasion calls for it, I would.
Yes.
I smoke weed, so publicly I don't really say that very often, but I do.
I saw that you said that on a podcast.
Yeah. I had a sauna last night, and I had a bit before the sauna. Yeah. So good, like meditation. It's like I tell my clients to try this if you're weed friendly. If you've got a sauna, do it in a sauna. If not, all good. Frequencies, bit of weed, and you'll have the best meditations.
I was going to say, that really puts you in there.
That brings up more stuff, ego. Quiet down a little bit more unconscious stuff come up, do some breath work in there. So side tangent over. So 12 months we're catching up and 2026 is a life-changing year for you. What has to happen or what will happen, what's already happened?
I can already see us doing this. Yep. You're going to be saying about your events, you're going to be talking about your events and just the next level of Lewis. Yeah. And I'm going to be like, holy shit, I've had a big year. Look what's happening. Yeah. You know, I think I've just taken my manifestation business to the complete next level. Working with lots of people, lots of traveling, doing lots of events, meeting new people. Yeah. What needs to happen?
What's going to happen, yeah?
You know, this year, I went into this year saying I need to be my word for the year is discipline. Oh. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm quite disciplined anyway, because when I do tell people that, they go, I thought you were already disciplined. Yeah. But I mean next level disciplined because my systems and my life and my routines have gotten me to where I, am at now. But to get to where I want to be, I need to be so much more disciplined. Yeah. So I'm usually I love the beach. Last summer I was at the beach just all day, every day. I can just do my work at the beach, This year I think I've been a handful of times. Yeah. I've barely gone. And it's because I'm like, no, I need to finish building this online program. I need to finish filming meditations and visualizations. I need to get back to these clients. I need to do, clarity calls. And I'm just much more disciplined. And with the gym, I need to, because I'm going to the gym.
Do you, are you involved at all in the gym, like roles-wise?
Super involved. Yeah. Yeah, I don't coach any classes, but we run about 10 classes a day. I think we run about 60 classes a week. Yeah, we're busy. I think I've got a team of 10. There's 10 of us. I work from my house. I've got a beautiful office at my house, but I'm in there most days because I go in there to train. Yeah. And then I just kind of hang around and chat. But I run the business from my house. So I still, oversee all the programming, the staff, the events, the workshops. It's very, what it's like owning a gym. It's a lot of work. Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Do you plan to hire yourself out completely?
No. I was going to sell it. And 3 people last year, I was like, I'm going to sell. 3 really great buyers came forward. Yeah. No, I'm not ready, not ready, not ready. Yeah, I still really love it. I had to just get honest with myself and just go, I still really love it. So how can Sarah make this work? Yeah. How can Sarah have this, really busy gym that needs, still a lot of attention, but how can she also change women's lives and give them everything that they want to be, but also, go and speak on stages and do all these things. I had to make, how is this going to work? Yeah. And I had to create a plan. Love it. So it's like Monday, I work on the gym. Tuesday, it's my coaching business. Wednesday, coaching business. Thursday, gym. Friday, Like that's why this year is discipline for me. Yeah. So if like a 40-degree lands on a Tuesday and all my friends are at the beach, I'm like, sorry.
Time to hustle.
I'm going to miss out. Yeah.
I wanted to ask about parenting. We haven't really spoken too much about it. So I believe that our close life is a mirror. Whatever you judge is a projection, reflection of you. Of course. And I believe the closest mirrors we get are partners and children. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, what has come up for you as a parent recently at the moment for you to work on your stuff, your triggers, your growth, your edges? How's that been like for you as a parent?
I parent so differently now because I have a regulated nervous system, because I didn't realize I used to be so dysregulated. My son would have an emotional moment when he was younger, and then that would just completely trigger me. Yeah. And then I would, yell, just be dysregulated, could not handle it. But now, he never really has any emotional outbursts now. But if he was, I can easily just, ask him how you're feeling. And if he doesn't want to talk about it, I'll just, do you want me to just sit next to you? Yep, just stay there. And then when he's kind of, calm down a little bit, would you like a hug? Yeah. I'm just very different now. Whereas before I would just, I was a mess.
What advice would you have to parents?
Now I'm very calm. Regulate your nervous system. Yeah. You have to regulate your nervous system, but then you've also got to ask yourself, when your child is having an emotional, outburst, and you are too, you need to step away. Yeah. Firstly, step away. And just sit with yourself and just go, just take some deep breaths and just, what's coming up for me? What am I making this mean? My son is having a tantrum. He's cracking it. What am I making this mean about me? Yep. And, for me, a lot of times it was like that I'm a bad parent. He's having an emotional outburst. I'm making it mean that I'm a bad parent, So it's like, give that part of yourself some love. Just really integrate that. Give yourself some love. Yeah, okay, I'm feeling better. Okay, I love all good. And then I'll go in and give him that love.
Tough one for you.
Oh, you know what I really don't like while we're on?
Please, tell me. Tell me.
People, so this is what I don't stand for. Yeah. People that tell their kids don't cry. Yeah. So, I can't. Oh, sometimes my son's dad will do it and I'll be like, don't do that. It's okay if he cries. Yeah. Let him cry because it regulates their nervous system. Yeah. And I always say to my son, I love that you're crying. Yeah. I love that you're crying right now. And he's like, what? Yeah. And I'm like, because, you're going to feel so much more relaxed and better afterwards. You're going to feel amazing. Cry. Yeah.
I had Dr. Vanessa Lapointe on my podcast. I read a couple of books, phenomenal. And a child cannot emotionally regulate themselves until about the ages of, they start to learn around 3 years old, but it doesn't fully develop until teenagehood.
Exactly.
So if you tell a child to not be emotional, you're asking them to do something they can't do. Yeah. It's like saying, hey, can you make me some eggs? And you've got no eggs. It's like, hey, I'll try my best, but I can't do it.
They don't know how to regulate. They regulate through us.
Yeah, co-regulation.
Yeah, they regulate through us. And that's what I learned when I started doing this work. Your children regulate through us. So if you're a mess, how are they then going to calm down? Yeah. So it's like you need to be their rock, but first you've got to make that rock within yourself.
Yes, she calls it the brain bridge as well. It's like phenomenal.
And just hug it out. Yes. So whenever my son's having a meltdown, I'll just hug it out with him and just sit there until he's calm. Nah, he's so much of a better child now that I feel like my nervous system is regulated. Yeah. Everyone will be like, Noah's such a great kid and he's such a great kid. Yeah. And I think it's because I regulated my nervous system years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say, what dating advice would you give to men to attract a attractive, regulated, conscious partner?
do not ask me for dating advice. No.
From your experience?
Okay.
Like you'd
Actually,
probably
I had
see
this
what.
conversation with a lady sitting next to me at the restaurant, at the hotel restaurant this morning.
Perfect.
I think it's time for men to step up. We were talking about this, how the stats are more women are single these days. And they said by 2030, there's 60% of women between the ages of 32 and 50 are going to be single.
Wow.
Yes.
It's huge.
Huge, 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 huge. And it's because women are just evolving, doing the work. They've got careers, but they're also doing the inner work.
Yeah.
And men, what are men like? I mean, you're a small portion of a guy, but most men out there are not doing any work. Like I know a lot of guys. I work in a gym.
I may project onto you.
Great men, but I feel like a lot of men aren't doing the work.
Yeah.
So I think it's time for men to really step up. Yeah.
How can they step up?
I think. Well, that's a tough one for me to answer because I don't know for them, Even my ex was like, I'll just learn from you. And I was like, I'm not your teacher. So they've got to figure it out themselves. Yeah, they've got to figure it out themselves. I'm not going to lead a man.
Yeah.
They've got to figure it out themselves. Certainly do not ask me for advice on how to make you better. Yeah.
What about practical approaches? I'm going to project onto you.
Yep.
I'm going to assume you're going to have some gentlemen slide into your DMs.
Yes.
And I'm assuming some people may not do it in a healthy, loving way.
I don't check them.
You don't check them?
No, never.
Okay. I was going to say, how can men approach women? Because I've had people ask me for dating advice. How did you get Georgia? I'm like, I just sent her a DM on Facebook, said, hey, I think you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Like that was my fucking magic sauce.
I love that.
So
I do wonder if I'm missing, but I don't know. Anyway, I do wonder sometimes. I'm like, am I missing people in here?
Yeah.
I don't check them.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't open them. I don't open them. I don't give them any.
What would be a healthy way to approach it? I'm trying to get like for the gentleman listening, what would be like if someone wanted to approach you?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Just have a conversation.
Yeah.
Just have a conversation. That's it. Yeah. That's what I think men are really lacking these days. And it actually, there's the stats out there to show that this is true.
Yeah.
Men aren't approaching anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think guys just need to come back to just walking up to us and just, how are you?
Yeah.
And it's stepping into the fear, right? It doesn't matter what it is. It's like she might, be like, turn her shoulder or give you the cold shoulder, but that's okay. That's just, time for you, for you to turn around, but you tried. I think men just need to really start approaching us girls. And because who knows where that can lead? It could lead into a date. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any other topics that we should have had today that we haven't spoken about yet?
Oh, that's him.
Anything that's really alive for you? Anything that's like so juicy we should have asked it? I should have asked you.
No, I feel like I would have 10,000 questions to ask you because I find you so fascinating and you know so much. But no, not from my end. I think that's good.
Well,
this would be one that I would need to process, and when I'm flying home, I'll probably be like, yes, this is what we
slam me with some DMs. So our final question then.
Yes.
You got 60 seconds left on this planet, and it's your final message to leave to the world. What's your message? Don't think, just do. Don't think about it, just do it. Go, 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 go. Don't wait. Love it. Thank you for joining me today. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Lewis. Thank you. If anyone wanted to connect with you, do some work with you, explore your services, just connect with you because you're a fucking legend. Where's the best way they can find you? Yeah, I look through my Instagram. They can Sarah_McNelis or, my website, sarahmcnelis.com. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Lewis.